Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. It is Oracle Friday. Aloha Oracle Friday. Whoops. Anyways, I've been reunited with my book and the guidelines, so I was reading this a little bit earlier, and I thought I did pretty good on the winging it part. So anyways, number one, do not worry where the message is coming from. I only work from a good place, so if you're seeing this, there's a reason you are here. Number two, do not make a card fit your question if it does not resonate with you. Forcing an outcome or an answer not meant for you can cause unnecessary stress and overthinking or anxiety. Number three, I will give you the message I receive and the message from the book because someone took the time to write it and put it together. So you're probably thinking, well, Shelly, you did pretty good the last couple of weeks without your book. Why did you need to read it? Sorry. Because you saw how much faster that was. So let's get to the Oracle deck. So today I have had caffeine. The last couple of days, God, I mean, it sounded like I had been on caffeine, but I was just, for some reason, I think, kind of revamping the idea of the Aloha perspective and going back over old things. I get fidgety and then I get kind of rambly, and I've been that way my whole life. So it's a tell. It's a tell. And you can really tell when like the anxiety peaks or I get nervous about something, I get itchy. So, when I'm not itchy, well, that made me itchy because, But anyways, the only one I don't do the book on, except on rare occasions, is the Angel Answers deck. Whoops, the Angel Answers deck. I like to start out with one to wait for people to come on. So, yeah. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see. I always try to pull about 5. That's a lot. But I always try to pull about 5. Well, there's one. God, it's always the same ones. Whoever needs the message, get the message already. Figure it out. All right. There's a few. So that's interesting. We got a lot of timelines here. So it's going to be hard to make a story out of this one. Usually I try to put them together to make a story out of them. So I'm gonna keep the deck out in case I feel compelled to draw something. This one appeared, so if you're thinking of something and you shouldn't be doing it, don't do it. And I don't mean if you're nervous, that's why you don't want to do it. I mean, if you know it's a bad idea, it's good to take risks, but you don't want to get in trouble for it either. You don't want to get, people lately have been coming up with bad ideas, and these bad ideas can get you arrested and thrown into jail. So don't do bad things. Okay. It's as simple as that. Whatever it is that you are asking about, get more information on it. So you may need a little bit more information to really kind of make a judgment or assessment on what it is that you are planning or what it is that you are thinking of going through on. Like I said, yesterday we did the 8 uncomfortable truths. Taking no risk may be the biggest risk of all, but sometimes you have to take calculated risks. So if there's something that's bothering you, just get a little more information. It doesn't mean that it's saying no. What it means is that maybe you just need a little more information and have a little bit of input into whatever it is that you're asking about. Okay, so here's one of the timeline cards. I'm going to save these for last because literally it's just like, that might be Sissy's joke on me because, let's see, it's up to you. It's up to you. So get more information. It's up to you. And really, sometimes you have to make the first move. Sometimes you have to just trust that everything is going to fall into place and that, when you leap, the net will appear, right? That's one of my favorite sayings that I just randomly saw one day. It says, leap and the net will appear. So basically, have faith and trust that you're going to be okay. Be assertive. Be assertive. Sometimes you need to ask the hard questions to get that information, or, it's up to you to be assertive. It's up to you to make that first move. It's up to you to say hello or shake somebody's hand or just say, whoa, hi, how's it going? Even when you're nervous, God, I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. It's like, I I mean, I love being a social butterfly, but certain situations just make me nervous. And it's just like, please don't be an idiot. I mean, not them, me. It's like, please don't act like an idiot. Please just, and then you try to be yourself. And the more you try to be yourself, the dumber you start to look. And I don't mean it like that. Okay. I know people are like, wow, Shelly Marie, that's not very positive. What I mean is sometimes we overshoot. Just be yourself. I know it can be nerve-wracking, and sometimes all we want to do is impress people, but if they don't like you for you, you don't want to jump into something and then all of a sudden you start acting like you and they're like, who are you? Just be yourself. As hard as it can be, you just be yourself, because the right people, no matter what type of relationship it is, the right people will come into your life, and they're going to be your people. All right. So be assertive. Whatever you're waiting for or whatever you're asking for, that's a big fat yes. Okay, it's a big fat yes. And I know it's backwards, but this is how the show has been, so I think people are just used to it. But yes, with an exclamation mark. I believe there is a card in here that's just a plain old yes. There's another one that says don't stop, remain positive, ask your angels, forgiveness. Forgiveness is a big one. But I know there, I just found the 2 no's. There it is. So see, there is a plain old card that just says, sure, yeah, why not? But if you look at the difference, this one is the one that we pulled. And look at all the stuff she's holding. She's holding the sun and the earth in her hands. This one is just, okay, yeah, go for it. You get a yes and a little rainbow that everything's going to work out just as it's supposed to. But this one is saying, it is time now. Now is the time. So get your ass in gear and just trust and believe. Take that leap, because the net will appear. Now, here comes the fun part. So, whichever one resonates with you, okay, within the next few weeks, whatever you're looking for is going to happen. Within the next few months, whatever you're waiting for is going to happen. A year from now. Okay, now, what these mean is, within the next few weeks, anything can happen. So it could be from today all the way the next few weeks, which I guess would be about 2.5 to 3. I won't say 2.5, since they're saying a few. Not a couple, not a month, not 3 weeks from now. So it's saying a few weeks. So I know most people think a few is like 2, right? So we're just going to go 2.5. So between now and 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks from now, whatever it is that you're waiting for is going to happen. If this card resonates with you, do not force it to resonate with you. I know you see a year from now and you're thinking, you got to be fucking kidding me. But it's okay. It's going to be okay, because there may be a lot more healing, or there may be a lot more stuff that you have to go through to get to that particular place. All right. And that doesn't mean that the motions and the wheels aren't going to start turning now. What it means is that everything that you're working towards may come to fruition and may be completed even a year from now. So if you really stop and think about it, maybe you're going to be starting this journey in a few weeks. In a few months, you're going to see that progress. And a year from now, you're going to be off and running, and doing everything that it is you need to do, and whatever it is that, is meant for you. So it's not always about, wait for a year and do it. It means that, everything's going to come to, everything's going to start its progress. And maybe that's what the 3 cards together were for, because they literally flew out from different parts of the deck, those 3 cards. So just think about it this way. A few weeks from now, you may say, hey, maybe you're going to wake up one day and go, oh, I totally got this. A couple months from now, you might put your, whatever it is, your plan into action, or you might have your plan in action already, and you're going to start seeing results over these particular times. So this sounds, it felt like at first that it might be something, whatever resonates with you, but the more I'm talking about it and the more I'm hearing from my guide, and I've made no secret about it. I do work with Archangel Gabriel quite a bit, the messenger angel. If that's not your thing, then I just work with my spirit guides. But what I'm hearing now is just, this is a progression of time. So, maybe you work up the courage for something, and in a few weeks, you make that first move. A few months, things might be getting better. A year from now, it may just be this full-blown thing. So, and that's in any situation. All right. So just know that within the year, great things are going to be happening, or great things will already be happening in your life. So today felt kind of like a healing / magical unicorn day. And I also have the Keepers of the Light. So, yeah, I figure I could use some guidance. So I miss being a social butterfly. I was telling older sibling that this morning. He's like, yeah, I was praying the other night going, yeah, I really miss being a social butterfly, and I'd really like to get that back because I miss being around people. And I kind of shocked myself when I said that, because now I thought that I had been coming out of the spiral for a while, but it feels like I'm finally really actually seeing the fruits of the hard labor I've put in to get through this healing journey and to finally, heal the journey. And now the journey is about moving forward and moving into this life and creating this life that I want to live. And, and all the people that are in it and all the people that may be entering it, or I shouldn't say may, okay? I mean, I still have a lot of life left. So all the people who will be entering my life in one, aspect or another. So it's all about preparing, right? But, yeah, I miss being a social butterfly. So I think that's part of the reason I picked the Keepers of the Light, because there's some good guides in there. And, there are all kinds of guides from, across every religion. So that was the nod, right? The nod, like, yeah, you see me. All right. There we go. All right. Well, I'm gonna shuffle. Ooh. All right. So I know there's people in the world that feel like oracle cards and tarot cards and all that aren't necessary. That, you should just trust God. And, and I get it though. And, there's nothing wrong with that. People are entitled to their own opinion, but I have to tell you, a lot of my healing work, I have a very full spiritual table. I mean, it's not just God. There are other people on my spiritual table. I've mentioned in the past that I'm a polytheist, which means that I believe in more than one deity. But God is like a security blanket, right? Because that's what I grew up knowing. That's what I grew up with. That's what I grew up. I was raised Catholic. And, but I feel like this is how God talks to me. This is how all of my higher powers talk to me. And in fact, it was through these things that I found more of my higher powers. And so, I honor them with my journey, all of them. And so for those that might be a little wary, or those of you who might be like a little, this is the devil's work. It's not the devil's work. I don't work with the devil to read cards. People who do the tarot, I'm not going to say all people, because there are some sketchy people out there. If somebody says to you, you need to give me $1,000 to clean your house, to spiritually clean your house, find someone new. There are people out there that have gifts that abuse their gifts. There are people out there who don't have gifts, but they have the gift of manipulation. And so you gotta watch out for those people. Okay. I don't know if this is true or not, because I haven't been in this situation, but my understanding is that people who abuse their gifts lose their gifts. So, but again, that's not for me to speak on, because I don't really know, but I know that I honor my gifts, and I know that, I know people will say, well, why are you paying someone to do that? Well, people have to make a living, right? You pay a doctor. I mean, yeah, it keeps you alive, but if you're going to a psychic, and you're going to a medium, you're paying for a service, and it might be a service that can help you. But like I said, just beware of the charlatans that are out there. All right. That's my PSA for you in this moment, and try not to be too afraid of everything. So, ooh, look at this one. These are two good cards. Awakening your true self. I know there are people out there who do not like the term authentic self. I think it's a great term. I personally think it's a great term, and it may not be for everybody. You may say it differently. You may look at it differently, but one of the reasons I like it is because, as we grow up, and it may not necessarily be the people raising us, but as we grow up, we're conditioned to think in different ways. I was raised Catholic, so ghosts and these kind of things were, it's the devil's work. It's their demons. And not every Catholic thinks that way, because I know a lot of Christians and Catholics who are right on side here with me, who get it. But there are some who are just so hardcore, and I would call them really old school, where, you know, you believe everything that's in this book, and it's bad. But God hasn't struck me down yet, knock on wood. So I feel like I'm honoring him and all my other spirits at the table, and, you know, across many different religions, but because it's about the spirituality of things. It's about awakening, literally awakening your true self. Who were you here to be? Who, you know, for the people that believe you come here for a purpose, who are you meant to be in this lifetime? You know, 30 years ago, I would not have suspected that I would be doing a show here with an Oracle Friday, which I realized going back in my videos, these are about almost 2 years old now. So I think it's 2 years old in September. So we've been doing this a lot longer than I realized. But after going through my healing journey, I found a me in there that I know had always existed. I don't think your authentic self is somebody you find. I think it's somebody who's in there. This is just my opinion. This is my perspective. I believe it's somebody who's been in there, that's just been so conditioned to think in all these different ways that they're afraid to really kind of open up and trust and let go and to be this magical person, you know, figuratively or literally, be this amazing, incredible, awesome person that they're meant to be. You know, sometimes we get conditioned, like, well, you know, like back in the 50s, right? Again, older sibling and I were watching another episode of the Foods That Built America. And even back in the 60s, women did not go to bars. And if they did, they were a certain kind of woman. But women probably like to go out there. I mean, you know, when a woman would go out to a party, she usually had a chaperone. And if she had a chaperone, how's she going to meet a dude? So a lot of women end up with people that other people introduce them to, and they feel, and I'm not saying that, you know, they just pick one and say, okay, this is it. You know, I mean, I got lucky because my parents were introduced by my dad's sister-in-law, and who just happened to be my mom's childhood best friend. And so that was really kind of organic in its own way. And, you know, they were married for 47 years till my mom passed away. And, but I mean, it doesn't always, but what I'm saying is that we're conditioned to be a certain way. We're, you know, women back in the 40s and 50s and 60s, they'd go off to college just to find a dude, just to find a boo, right? Be kind of educated, learn, oh yeah, home ec, this and that. And then there were women out there who were like, no, like Marie Curie or all these other amazing scientists. They have the one woman from, oh gosh, I can't think of the movie, but, sorry, I'll have to think of it later, but she was like a mathematician, like a wild scientist. Like, and I don't mean wild like crazy. I mean like so smart, like wildly smart engineer, and a wildly smart mathematician, and a wildly smart woman who knew how to, you know, do office support. I cannot understand why I cannot remember this movie. It was about the NASA woman with the 3 African American women. And, you know, not only are they African American women, but they're colored women in the 60s trying to make it in a man's world, a white man's world. And I'm not trying to politicize this. What I'm trying to say is that these are the things women have had to climb over. And I think a lot of times, you know, they were awakened to their true self. They're like, you know what? I need to be true to myself. I'm just going to throw down the gauntlet and say, hey, here we go. And I think that's what this card is talking about. It's awakening to who you are, not who you were conditioned to be, to who you are, to be your authentic self, to live your life the way you want to live it. You know, you want to go off and be a nomad, go off and be a nomad. You know, I mean, sometimes you can't depend on the world for it, but, you know, just be your happy self. Be your happy self. Oh, that's interesting. This is the very first card in the deck. So you're beginning to recover your natural identity, including your old sense of humor, interests, passions, and desires. Trust that any confusion or changes you're currently experiencing are part of your healthful evolution. There you go. You're evolving. As if a cloud is lifted from your mind and heart, you're beginning to see life from the perspective of your old self. You just went through a period where you gave up who you are to please another person. You buried your interests, ignored your friends, and tried to fit into another person's lifestyle. We talked about this the other day, about how I used to just disappear in all my relationships. Because I was not in a place of healing. I was in a place of being lost and stuck, and I thought I had to do all these things to be loved. Now your old self is emerging. You're back. And if you didn't have an old self, welcome. Welcome to your new world. All right. As you recover your authentic self, your life and your personality are going through big changes. Hold tight and allow these changes to occur. The fairies ask that you trust that the parts of your life and personality that are falling away are inauthentic and false. Know that you're building a solid foundation of truth and everything is working out perfectly right now. So you have to honor your journey. It's hard to honor your journey. Trust me when I say this. I know that my oracle reads are a little bit different than other people. They just give you this. I try to give examples because I've been there. And a lot of the people who do the oracle readings on YouTube have been there. But I get long-winded. So, But yeah, just honor who you are. And like I said, if you do not have an old self to go back to, like maybe all these bad things happened to you when you were a kid and now you're trying to find out who you are, just honor the person that you're becoming. And do all these things. Hold tight and allow these changes to occur. It's scary. It's scary AF. I totally get it. I didn't have an old person to go back to. I mean, I had a damaged older person to go back to. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to pick all those things that I liked about myself. I liked being a social butterfly. I liked being out there. Yeah, I was shy, but sometimes I had to just be like, hey, how's it going? Hold out your hand. Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you. And, or you find the other shy person in the room and you make them feel comfortable. And next thing you know, you have a friend. That's what happened with older sibling and I. I mean, older sibling is shy, but she was also the social events director. So she went into work mode, as she would call it. But she took me under her wing and now I have a soul sister. So you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes you just have to take that risk. But, also honor your authentic self. Honor the person that you're becoming. I never thought in my life I'd be doing oracle readings. Like, seriously. Never in my life thought I'd be doing this. I just did it for friends. Never thought I'd be on here doing this kind of stuff. So, or even on my Facebook Live. So you have to trust your journey. You have to trust that, what you're putting out there, as long as it is good, even if it only touches one person, remember, only one pebble in the water can create lots of ripples, a lot of ripples, right? And if you throw 3 pebbles, they're going to make, 3 sets of ripples. But it just takes one pebble to make that ripple. So what you're doing could be touching someone else, could be touching someone else, could be touching someone else. What you're doing could be touching someone else this way, this way, this way, this way. And it just keeps going and going. All right? Because you're helping people heal. So the next one is creative expression. I'm just going to read the book on this because I feel like your creative expression can really, really help tie you in to your authentic self. I love to write. For a while, I wrote for a site for my local hockey team. And, I didn't write for them, but I wrote for a fan site for them, and I would do like updates and stuff. And I never really thought about the fact that I was doing that. But then I realized, I even wrote for Bleacher Report before they became huge and just went off in their own direction. But I should have stayed up on that one because who knows. But, I didn't have the confidence. I didn't think I was that good. But the fact that people were posting the articles I was writing, even though it was, I did it for free because I enjoy it. But you have to have faith in yourself. You have to have faith in your creative expression. I cannot draw to save my life. I cannot, but I love colors and I love just throwing colors together. And, I love doodling. I mean, they're just lines that I end up coloring in that look like big blobs of squiggles. But you know what? You look at some of the paintings out there. I mean, Jackson Pollock, right? Look at some of his work and you're just like, wow, that's amazing. And then, you probably have done something similar to that. But the difference is he believed in himself, or somebody did. Somebody believed in him and poof, now we all know who he is. So just trust it. Even if you're not putting it out there for public consumption. If you're doing it for yourself, don't worry about it. If you love to paint, but you can't paint, who cares? Just do it for yourself. If you like to sketch and you can't sketch, just do it for yourself. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter if it looks like, you know, Bob Ross did it or a 5-year-old. All right? Because as long as it's making you happy, that's all that matters. I mean, come on, look at Cubism, right? I mean, you got Picasso, and people thought his stuff was like, what the hell is he thinking? But now, pretty famous, isn't he? So, creative expression. Your heart needs an outlet to express powerful emotions. By drawing this card, you're urged to engage in an artistic or creative endeavor. The fairies sing, dance, and make beautiful decorations as a way of expressing their heart's joyful energy. You, too, are urged to create an outlet for your creative expression. Anything artistic or creative will make your heart sing with joy and will allow you to get in touch with your true inner feelings and divine guidance. Painting, flower arranging, photography, sand or snow sculpting, writing or composing songs are wonderful examples. Your creative expression doesn't need to be skilled or perfect. In fact, the most therapeutic types of creative activities allow you to paint outside the lines. In other words, don't worry whether your creative project is perfect or marketable. Let go of all the goals and judgments and instead create with childlike exuberance and enjoy. You know, I have to tell you, I have to take that into consideration too, because I love photography. I am in no way, shape, or form even, I mean, I know little bits about f-stops and whatnot, but I'm one of those point and shoots. Right? You just point and shoot it. But I love the fancy cameras. I guess it's a semi-fancy camera. I figure if you spend $400 on a camera, it's a fancy camera. All right. But, and that's not a brag. That's just being like, yeah, no, Shelly Marie, it's a fancy camera. But I haven't touched it in a while because I got intimidated. You see all these pictures that people put out there who know how to use f-stops and this, that, and the other. I don't shoot things, you know, to impress anybody else. When I take a picture of something, it's what I see. The picture of that door, the picture of the knob, the picture of the keyhole, the picture of the door knocker. You know, houses, like sometimes older sibling, I'll take her to her doctor appointments. And there's, in Old Town Orange, there's this beautiful area that's just old houses. And I love going around there and just taking pictures of the houses. Sometimes it's hard because people are sitting on their porch going, but I figure, hey, maybe they're used to it by now. I mean, you're living in a nice old house. It's got to be, in some cases, probably about 100 years old or at least 60 plus years old. So no matter what your passion is, again, don't worry about whether it is perfect or marketable. If it makes you happy, do it. One of my I had a tree in the Grand Canyon near the Bright Angel Lodge that, I mean, my mom and dad were like, and I was in my 20s. I went with my parents and my aunt, two sets of aunts and uncles. And they're all like, where do you keep going? Where do you keep going? I'm like, I'm waiting for the lighting to be just perfect. And I took a picture of this tree. It was a dead tree. But the lighting behind it was so pretty. And the thing is, because I just shot it in automatic, I think that made it different because you had the sunset in the background. You had that haze in the background. I wasn't fixing the lighting or anything. I saw what I liked. I waited for that perfect moment and bam. And then I went back in and had dinner. But that's creative expression. Don't worry about being super professional about everything. I had a photographer who was, you know, a working photographer. I had a working photographer who tell me that I had the eye. And this is a person who was a very professional photographer. And to be told that by somebody, and I'm like, yeah, but I only shoot in automatic. It doesn't matter. He's all, you have the eye. He's all, you could have a person who knows every single f-stop and they don't have the eye. But he's all, you have the eye. And to me that meant you see things that other people don't. And that's creative expression. Maybe you love to write poems. And you're like, yeah, that'll go nowhere. If you really stop and think about it, music, songs, they're poems. They're just different versions of poems. They're different types of poems. But if you really stop and look at them, they're poems. They're somebody's story. The 60s were filled with story songs. Right? All those folk songs. That's what they called them, folk songs. So, your creative expression. Embrace it. Do something with it. Get out there. Publish it. if you want to. Find a musician and say, hey, want to work together? I have all these poems, but they need music. And they might be like, hey, that's great. I have all this music in my head, but I don't have any words for it. And then bam. Oops. And then bam. You have a collaboration. Okay, well no, we did those last week. So, okay, wait, maybe those are supposed to come out of the deck. All right, let's see. We're in the Enchanted Unicorn. Wow, those came out fast. There's like two that just slid right out. All right, one more shuffle. Uno. All right, let's see here. Oh! Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm sorry. This is one of my favorite cards in all of this deck. There's Blossom and there's Cupcake, and those are my two favorites. And I think they're my favorites because the Blossom card, I have to see if I can find it. The Blossom card is just, to me, it is the giddiest card in the whole deck. Oh, there's one I'd never seen before. Divinity. I know. You know, I try to be surprised by my cards. Now watch, it's the one on the very top. Oh, that's a pretty one too. There she is. Or he is, whichever. We'll make them androgynous unicorns. How is that not the happiest card ever? In fact, that one says, the start of a fantastic new journey. Hey, this isn't one of the cards we're pulling, but there you go. You're at the beginning of a fantastic new journey. And I'm going to take that and run with it, because I really feel like I am on a fantastic new journey. But seriously, look how happy that card is. It's the Cherry Blossom. So I'm going to do Cupcake last. I have to show you. I just love this card. This card, I mean, it resonates, but this card is so cute. It's just so like, yeah, baby. So, like, I don't care who judges me. If you judge me, you're not my people. So, Ignite. Opportunities are flowing in for you now. So the Ignite unicorn is letting you know that now is the, and you know the cards, the angel answer cards, right? Within the next few weeks, months, a year from now, your opportunities are starting to flow in. Do not ignore the knock on the door. Okay, hey, that rhymed. Do not ignore the knock on the door. I should write that down. I'm going to write that down. Excuse me one moment. I know, I can't help it. Sometimes things come to me and you just have to go with it. Do not ignore the knock on the door. Baby. Girl. I know. This is my authentic me. Just goofy and silly. Okay, number 28. I'm just going to read these because there's so much more insight than I can give you. So, the gorgeous red and yellow striped gazania flower is associated with power and creativity. There's the creativity again. If you have something that you just have in your craw and you got to get it out, these two cards, the last one, creative expression, and this one is what it is, power and creativity. It is saying, go for it. The opportunities are flowing in. Just, you know, you may knock on 3 doors and get 3 no's. Knock on that 4th one because you might get a yes. Just keep knocking until somebody says yes. In fact, if you watch Singing in the Rain, there's the whole scene, right, where he's just knocking, and then everyone's no, and then one person says, yeah, let's do this. So, you know, right? I mean, that was a montage scene. I think it was a movie filler. But, you know, when Gene Kelly has a vision, Gene Kelly has a vision. But there you go. The whole scene does but doesn't fit in the movie. I mean, it does but doesn't fit in the movie. But, I mean, to me it does because I love that movie. But Singing in the Rain. But the whole point is when you have a vision, you have to go with it because it works, right? I mean, the man was a dancer and he liked to show off his dancing skills. And Sid Charisse, that woman was all legs. So, you know, and, you know, absolutely beautiful woman. And, I mean, she could dance. So, you know, you take the opportunities where you can get them, right? So, Ignite. Again, the flower is associated with power and creativity. It's bright energy unblocks repressed thoughts and old ideas, leading to renewed passions and personal freedom. Gazanias grow in tough conditions, needing little water and care, yet every year they bloom into magnificent flowers. They are also known as the treasure flower. They sound like they grow in the desert, kind of, right? So the divination for this is the boom card, literally. It's in capitals with an exclamation mark next to it. This is your boom card, right? Drop the mic. Physical, emotional, and spiritual blocks are being blasted away with fresh new energy. Old stale patterns are being replaced. Hold on to your hat when this card appears. You are about to be offered plenty of new opportunities for growth. If you have been feeling in the doldrums lately and asking yourself, what's the point? This card heralds a time of passions being reignited after a period of dormancy. I'm not going to lie, this card is really speaking to me. Try saying yes to invitations and opportunities that you would normally say no to. The Ignite Unicorn encourages you to explore healing techniques that use energy such as Reiki, chakra balancing, massage, yoga, and meditation. I am a Reiki master. I know, a little fun fact. This can help kickstart the flow of good energy through your body and clear away any emotional blocks that have been holding you back. So the unicorn magic. That's right. This is Oracle Friday. It's Magical Friday, kids. So unicorn magic. Ask the unicorns to help you with this powerful little spell or ritual. You can call it a ritual if you want. Gazania Good Fortune Charm. You need 1 Gazania flower, 1 piece of square gold paper, adhesive tape, and 1 felt tip pen. Ideally, you would use a fresh Gazania flower for this spell, ritual. We'll call it a ritual. But if you can't procure one, try your hand at drawing one or printing out an image of one. There you go. So there's always a workaround, okay? You can't say, well, I can't go get a Gazania card, so much for that stuff. No, you can print one out, kids. Take the flower and place it in the middle of the piece of gold paper. Sorry. Take the flower and place it in the middle of the piece of gold. Why can't I not read this? Take the flower and place it in the middle of the piece of paper, gold side facing out. Gently fold each corner around the flower so that it forms an envelope and secure with adhesive tape. Write 888 on the front of the envelope. This little charm will kickstart the flow of golden opportunities into your life, with the number 8 appearing 3 times, said to attract triple fortune. So 888 is actually, it's a very good number. 8 is infinity, right? I mean, it's, if you turn it sideways, it is the infinity symbol. So, the triple eights are actually a really good number, and especially in numerology. I mean, the higher you get, the better it is. Like 7s are supposedly good luck, 8 are good fortune, abundance, good things. Not just, good fortune and abundance doesn't necessarily mean, money, but it can very well mean, like the 777s are luck, right? If you get 666s, that's not necessarily. I know some people hear that and go, oh my God. It means you're out of balance. So, you're not thinking straight. You're not thinking the way you should be thinking, which in a way is bad, right? It's bad. So it's about flipping the switch. 555 is opportunities. Opportunities are knocking. 444 is a solid angel number. It means your angels are looking after you. And these are just kind of the tapping the surface of what each number can actually mean. But 888s, they're amazing. They're amazing. 999s are like a completion number, and 000, depending on your beliefs, is actually a God number, like God, the one that most people believe in, or a lot of people, the God of Christianity, or that umbrella. But depending on what your religion is or wherever your higher power sits, that is supposed to be, they see you, they hear you, and they're proud of you, or they're helping you through, depending on what it is you're going through. So when you see the 000s, it's generally your higher power. It's the end of like a journey, or depending on, again, where you're at, it could be the beginning of your journey. All right. So take the flower and do all those things. And you know what? The whole point of a ritual, and the whole point of a person doing the ritual, is to put that vibe out there, to put that, that, okay, I'm paying attention, and to really kind of change your vibe. So, if you believe in the law of attraction, which is universal law, and I also believe in that. So I would say it sits at my table, but it kind of encompasses everything because it's the universe. So, but, But if you believe in the law of attraction, that's basically what doing spells or rituals is about. Some people don't like to use the term spells because it gives off a bad vibe, because, you know, there are people who are naughty out there who just ruin it for everybody and, you know, do bad things with these things. And so with their gifts, and we talked about that at the beginning. So, if you want to call it a ritual because you're afraid, then by all means call it a ritual, because what it is, again, what it is, it's changing your vibe. It's saying, hey, I did this, so let's see what happens. And you believe in it. It's like planting a seed in the ground and watering it with your good intentions, your good vibes, your manifestation powers. All right, so Cupcake. This is the body positivity card. I know. I struggle with my own body positivity, but I have to tell you, that's not why I love this card. I love this card because the first time I saw it, it made me feel okay about being exactly who I am in the body I'm in right now. If you want to change it, change it. Okay? I mean, the only person who can change any part of you or anything about you is you. But when you're changing, don't shame yourself. Don't let other people shame you. You know, I actually had comfort food yesterday, not emotionally eating. I had comfort food yesterday. And the only reason I know it wasn't emotional eating is because I'm not craving it today. But I did a lot of work around the house yesterday. I was moving a lot of heavy things. And I mean, I was sweating with the best. And, but, you know, later I thought, you know what, I'm not going to shame myself. Yeah, I probably should eat something a little bit healthier. But, you know, I need comfort food right now. And because, you know, when you start cleaning, there's a lot of emotional attachments to things that you're letting go of as well. And that's going to be a big thing for me, is, you know, finding probably a healthier way to do it. But my point is, if you want to indulge in something, don't shame yourself. Okay? Enough people are out there trying to do it to you. Don't, you know, somebody told me the other day, if they're judging you, they're not your people. And that has stuck with me. I mean, literally, I want to tattoo it onto me, because it's the perfect reminder. If they're judging you, they're not your people. And I 100% love that, because it feels right. It feels true. Your people are going to love you for who you are. Your people are going to love you, you know, no matter what your space looks like, and they're going to help you. You know, I mean, I have been in a years-long spiral, and I put this on my Facebook, and my house looks like it, but I'm getting it all cleared up. I'm getting it cleaned up. I'm getting it cleared out. And again, like I said, it can be a little bit emotional. So I am not going to judge myself, because I think when we judge ourselves, that's what stops us from having a healthier everything. Because we're making ourselves feel bad about stuff. We're letting other people's words affect us. You know, it's like they always say, if people don't love you at their worst, they don't deserve you at your best. And I truly, truly believe that. Because people can't just come and go. Well, some people come and go as they please. But there are those that stick with you, that say, hey, you know what? I'll see you through this. You want to be on a health journey? Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm right here next to you while you do this, because there are going to be times when people fall apart, and it is scary when you fall apart. So the Cupcake, the body positivity card. And like I said, believe it or not, I'm not that big of a fan of cupcakes, but they're okay. But I make a mean cupcake, but they're okay. But they're just so cute. So anyways, the cherry tree boasts one of the most beautiful blossom displays in the world. The short lifespan of these blooms wait, am I reading the right one? Oh, that's so funny. Both of my favorite cards are the cherry blossom tree, which again is about, you know, blossoming and blooming. So let me read. I'm sorry. I know. The cherry tree boasts one of the most beautiful blossom displays in the world. The short lifespan of these blooms teaches us to live in the moment and to make the most of the here and now. In the metaphysical realm, the cherry fruit is thought of as sweet, innocent, and kind. Sweet cherries have anti-inflammatory properties and help to heal heart disease on both a physical and emotional level. Cherry bark, blossom, and fruit are used in the magical work for rituals associated with beauty and longevity. Hey, Helps heal heart disease. I was born with a congenital heart defect, which means I was born, well, I just said it, right? I was born with it. Congenital heart defect means I was born with it. But I was born this way. But yeah, and the scar goes down to about right there with two little end things. I don't know what they're called. I think that's where the tubes are going in and out. But I had surgery when I was 3. But yeah, so hey, cherry blossoms, hello. So the cupcake unicorn appears when your body's size and weight has been playing on your mind. Self-acceptance is the key. This card asks you to lift yourself up from negative judgments that have been created around the size and weight of the physical body. This is the body positive card. Let go of saying, I have to fit into this and I should weigh less. Let go of feelings of shame because of your size. If you are kind and thoughtful and healthy, if you make the most of your appearance and keep yourself clean and comfortable, there is no point in worrying about your weight. You do not judge others on their physical size. Why do you judge yourself? If you are kind to others, why not be kind to yourself as well? There is no such thing as taking up too much space. You are perfect just the way you are. Just as there is a certain height and eye color the body is born with, there is also a certain weight your body likes to be. End the struggle and give your body the credit it deserves for keeping you healthy and alive. Make peace with this amazing body temple you were given to enjoy your journey here on earth. Now, I just want to really reiterate this, and I've talked about this before on other body positivity shows of the perspective. This is any shape or size. Any shape or size. Okay, there are people who are thin who hate their bodies. There are people who are plus size who hate their bodies. There are people who are thin who love their bodies. There are people who are plus size who love their bodies. And there's everybody in between who either love or hate themselves. I used to be a rail, literally. And I hated my body. It wasn't until I got here to this point where I said, I really need to start loving my body. Because I really feel like I did this to myself to build this wall. To keep everybody out. But even my therapist says, why aren't you dating? And I'm like, have you seen me? And she's all like, yeah, I see you. You're sitting right in front of me. That's why I love her. That's why I love her. Because she just like, boom, right in my face. She's all like, I see you, Shelly Marie. You better do what I tell you. No, I mean, she doesn't say that. But no, she's like, yeah, I see you. And she's like, you can't tell me that you don't go out there and you see some girl that's your size standing there with, you know, this guy that you think you can't have. I mean, you can't have him because he belongs to someone else. But you know what I mean. That type of person. Tall, handsome, attractive, whatever. Thin. And she's all, because they're seeing that person in front of them. They love that person in front of them. They don't care. They don't care. They're just like, yeah, this is the person I love. This is my person. You know, and she told me, she's all, you need to just find that confidence and start getting out there. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then I tried to use my age. I'm like, yeah, but I'm old. She's all, you're not old. I know. I don't know. I'm just so awkward. I just can't imagine anybody wanting to be with me. I know that sounds terrible, right? Because I would love to find that person, that person, that man that's meant for me. But, maybe we can be awkward together. I'm sorry. I'm going to start making myself laugh and then we're never going to get through this. So anyways, unicorn magic. Ask the unicorns to find you the perfect outfit. Imagine the beautiful rainbow light of the unicorn spirits attracting an item of clothing to you that makes you feel like $1 million. It fits well and it's very flattering. Be open to receiving a gorgeous piece of fashion just because, and know that you don't need to wait until you are a certain size to look your best. You can look your best right now. I have been cleaning, which is why I haven't been wearing makeup the last couple of days. Well, a little bit. But I have to tell you, there are times when I feel like $1 million. I feel like $1 million. You know, I do my hair, I do my makeup, and I'll put on this whatever kind of outfit. I'm really kind of a t-shirt and jeans kind of girl, or t-shirt and leggings. And leggings aren't because I'm a plus size girl. The leggings are because they're just comfortable. I liked them when I was skinny because I love tights. Tights are my jam. But there are those times when you just go out and you put on maybe those wedges, right? Or, you know, if you're a dude, right? You put on some jeans, a nice pair of shoes, and, you know, it doesn't have to be a nice pair of shoes. It can be like tennis shoes. I mean, everything they make nowadays can be good for any type. I mean, you see these guys who wear suits and then they wear like these white, you know, sneakers with them, right? But you're like, wow. And you know why you're like, wow? Because they pull it off. It's like the other day when I talked about the outfit with the spring dress and the purple tights and the purple Doc Martens. I just owned that outfit. Own who you are. Don't worry about what's all out here. Like I said, if you want to change this, change it. But don't just talk about it. Don't put yourself down. If you're happy the way you are, be happy the way you are. There's a lot of people who are happy the way they are. But if it's something you want to change, change it. If you need help, ask. But, and I know I have to take my own advice on this. Don't shut out the world and the possibilities and the opportunities coming into you because you're afraid of what other people might think. You may be making a judgment. You're making a judgment for people that don't even know you or haven't found you yet. And you're thinking, well, they're not going to want me because, you know. And like I said, even thin people have body dysmorphia. You know, you can have a person that weighs 100 pounds and they probably feel like they weigh 200. And I know that may not seem like a good example for a lot of people, but that's body dysmorphia. Body dysmorphia is an absolutely horrid mental issue. And it really is kind of I feel like in a lot of ways it's a confidence issue. It's a kind of a trained thing, right? Like some people just grow up being, every time they do something good, they're fed. My mom watched everything I did growing up and ate because of my heart. That's why I brought that up earlier. She watched everything. She controlled my diet. If I wanted like a Coke or a candy bar or even a Twinkie or a ding dong, I had to ask. And sometimes I think she would count the ding dongs because she'd be like, well, who ate a ding dong? It's like, I don't know, I didn't know, I did. Sometimes my dad would cover for me. Oh, I ate it. And even with the Cheerios, right? My dad would always laugh because like he'd be drinking his coffee at the table and I'm sitting right next to him while my mom's doing whatever in the kitchen, you know, getting ready, making her coffee. And he'll look at the bottom of my bowl going, that's a lot of sugar in there, isn't it? Just, you know, so because I would sneak it. But instead of teaching me how to take care of myself, she just did it for me. And it's not her fault because I get it. I'm her only child, you know, and she just wanted to make sure I lived to be old. And so, to a 10-year-old, I am old. But, to me, I am not. I do not feel my year. I do not feel my age. I do not feel my age. But, you know, what I'm talking about here is that don't judge people. You know, there are people who may sit there and go, oh my God, I feel so fat. Or, oh my God, I feel so skinny. And these are people that just may have a very unhealthy view of themselves. Some people just do it because they're fishing for compliments, okay? And maybe they need that. Maybe they need that self-esteem boost and they don't know how else to ask for it. But I would say 9 times out of 10, that is not a proven fact right there. It's just me saying 9 times out of 10. I think a lot of times people just struggle with their body image and their body positivity. And so I really, you know what? I am going to take that card out because I think it's something I need to really kind of look at all week. I need to remind myself to just love myself exactly as I am. Because here's the thing. If you can't love yourself, how can you expect anyone else to love you? Right? How can you expect anybody else to see you if you can't love you? So let's get to the last deck. This is the Keepers of the Light. Let's see who's going to come out this week and say, hey, I'm here to guide you no matter what your belief system is. Keepers of the Light, think of it as like a corporation, right? You know, you go into a lawyer. You may not get the head lawyer, but you might get someone underneath him. That's what these guys are. These are the ones saying, hey, you know, I'm here to help you and to see you through your journey. All right, let's do one more shuffle and see if anything else comes out or anyone else. Some of them want to, but they're not. So, oh, that's it. We get, oh, I didn't realize 2 cards came out. Oh, 3 cards. Wow, 3 cards came out. The Miriam, Mercury, and Melchizedek. I'm glad I've read that one before because I would be looking at this going, what the hell does that say? Sorry, Melchizedek. But anyways, it's Melchizedek. So let's start with Miriam, the Sacred Vision. So it looks like she has lilies right there. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. Love has no boundaries. So the Miriam. That's interesting, isn't it? I have to see. They're listed under the. The Miriam, which means the beloved, are twin flame angels who come as one. They are mirror images of each other. They are the angels who appeared to Mary Magdalene in the tomb of Jesus after his passing. These angels spoke directly to Mary and helped her move beyond the grief so that she was able to commune with Jesus once more. They can help us move beyond the cloud of grief too. They can heal grievances of all kinds, including ones that have been created by religion or the ideas that God does not love or accept us because of mistakes we have once made. Yeah, I don't like the idea that some people think God doesn't love people just because of any reason. The way I look at it is, if a person on death row can ask God for forgiveness and according to the Bible be forgiven, then I think we need to stop judging people. Because remember, well, that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day. But the God that sits at my table, and I know a lot of people would disagree with me, he's not judgy. He's not judgy like a lot of people think he is. He's just all encompassing, all loving, love, light, rainbows, all that good stuff, right? I mean, he created people, so... Anyways, there is a real opportunity for you to move beyond grief or grievance at this time. The Miriam are here, swirling their holy light all around you so that you can regain a sense of union with Spirit. You are loved beyond words. Choose to see the light of God in everyone and everything and to love without boundaries. Honor others and honor yourself with your sacred vision. You are in a space of deep healing and forgiveness. Choosing to see the light of the world will help you grow even more. Now, I know a lot of people say, fuck you and your forgiveness. I get it. I do. But here's the thing. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to let someone back in your life. Forgiveness means that, you basically are freeing yourself. You are freeing yourself from the shackles of that. You're letting go of that anger. You're like, okay, you know what? I don't forgive the situation, but I forgive you. Because I don't want to carry this crap with me anymore. I don't want to carry this BS with me anymore. It's ruining my life. It's holding me back. It's being an anchor of fear. And I know there's a lot of people who are on their early parts of their healing journey that are saying, F you, Shelly Marie, I am not healing I'm not forgiving anybody. I will heal the way I know. But as we move through and we gain this different type of spirituality, depending on which path you're on, the path I'm on, there was a certain spirituality that, like an awakening that came with it. And I realized I can be mad about certain things, but I have to forgive the situations because they're not helping me grow. They're holding me back. They're just another anchor that's holding me in the sea of misery. And I don't want to be in the sea of misery. I want to sail the ocean blue of the ocean bliss. The bliss-filled ocean. That's what I want. So I had to figure out how to do that. And then one day I figured out I can forgive, what happened to me. That doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt me. That doesn't mean I want anything to do with the people that hurt me. It just means that I'm letting go. And I'm not letting them have their power over me anymore. This is my power. So forgiveness is a little, it's tricky. I'm not going to lie to you. It's tricky. But I have seen in some cases where people who have had issues with their parents, I'm very proud to say that, I know somebody who had a struggle with one of her parents, well, both of them now, but who had a struggle with one of her parents and just absolutely, I'm never talking to this person again. I don't want anything to do with them again. And now they're rebuilding their relationship. And I just pray so hard that it stays on a good level. But this is a person who had everything taken away from them and knew they had to do the work to get these things back. And kudos to the person who is rebuilding this relationship with them. Because, kudos to the person building this relationship with them, rebuilding this relationship with them, because it's not easy to forgive. No one's telling you to forget, but sometimes you have to forgive and just remind people, sometimes don't go down this road again. Because, you've seen now what I'm capable of doing. You've seen now that I am not afraid of walking away. So don't be afraid to just move forward. Mercury, open communication. Get a weight off your chest, speak up with love, and be heard. So the extended message for this is open all levels of communication now. Important messages, information, and insights are being shared. You may hear from an old friend or a family member, or have an opportunity to finally understand a loved one you've not had an easy time with. You may be able to clarify situations where you feel you weren't heard properly or misunderstood. Get things off your chest in a loving way so that you can clear all the roads to love in your life. Listen to. Communication is a two-way street. Mercury is here now to allow you to hear clearly and be heard. So if you have an issue, this goes perfectly with the other card. You know, you may forgive, but just be like, I can't right now. You know, or maybe you learn to forgive in the process. But this card is telling you, when you have this open communication, when you tell people, look, you have to stop making bad choices. You have to stop making bad life decisions because now I'm walking away from you. And maybe down the road, there might be more communication. There might be more, of an open dialogue. But, open communication is in anything, whether it's a family relationship, a friendship, a romantic relationship, co-workers. I think I called it a co-workership yesterday, but co-workers, work relationship. You have to have open communication, because if you just let people walk all over you, they're going to keep doing it until you put your foot down. All right. So the last one, Melchizedek, higher learning. You have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further the process or progress. So you have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further the progress. So higher learning. Let's see, Melchizedek. Oops, I went the wrong way. So Melchizedek is a high priest who is mentioned in the Bible's book of Genesis and many other sources too. He is here to assist the earth through the ascension process, which is basically moving everyone and everything back to a state of love and harmony. So I know for some people who are friends with me on Facebook, because I know I keep my Facebook closed to friends, but I keep the lives and some of my posts public. But I mentioned having an ascension flu. And ascension flu can feel a little bit like the flu, but what it is, it's a spiritual awakening. And I know a lot of people will be like, that's bullshit. But I'm telling you, it happened. It's happened several times for me. I'm leveling up slowly because I think if I did it all at once, I'd probably just explode. But, or I'd just have a supreme nervous breakdown. But, ascension is when you move out of the conditionings of others and really kind of step into your higher power, step into your authentic self. When you find the spirituality and you just own it. And, that's been very hard for me. And I think that's also one of the reasons I've slowly been ascending, is that it's been hard for me to be very open about my spirituality because, you're worried that people aren't going to like you for it. I mean, I had somebody unfriend me because I use oracle cards. And they were a family member, not one I'd actually met, but I mean, a lot of my friends are family members I haven't met. It's like the kids of my mom's cousins, right? Like my third cousins or whatever. But they're like, yeah, I grew up with this and this is crap and blah, blah, blah. And I'm all like, so they unfriended me. And I told them, but before they did that, I said, well, you don't understand. It's like, I work with the same higher power you look at. No, because they wouldn't believe in that. It's like, okay, I'm glad you're the authority on that. It was sad. Like I said, not somebody I was close to, not somebody I met in person, but somebody that I had interacted with on social media that I thought, wow, they're kind of fun. They're kind of cool. And to be thrown aside because of that, because they had bad experiences. It's like, you know what? I could have shown you a whole new world, but you didn't trust that. You just assumed I'm like everybody else. And sometimes that's a problem. That's not the awakening progress. That's actually going backwards. So again, he is here to assist the earth through ascension process, which is basically moving everyone and everything back to a state of love and harmony. That was not love and harmony. He appears with bright light around him and a long white beard to match his ancient high priest ways, and is said to have his own order of light-filled priests who are able to help spiritual people develop their gifts and qualities. As he works on a high energetic level, we can connect with him through sacred geometry and by focusing on ancient star-shaped symbols. So I'm not gonna lie, he kind of reminds me of Gandalf in a way. I know people are like, really, what is wrong with you? But he does. He kind of, in his own way, right? He looks like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. Or was it Sauron, the Christopher Lee character? I know, I'm talking about the movies now, not the book. But yeah, I mean, come on. He looks straight out like a wizard from Lord of the Rings. So, no intended. I don't mean to be disrespectful. I was just saying. But kind of when you read this too, that's what it kind of feels like. So, excuse me. So here's the extended message. I think I'm losing my power of speech as I go along. I'm so sorry. You have learned so much to this point and are learning more every day. You are recognizing all the great lessons your experiences and challenges have brought to you and are preparing for a transition or inner ascension where you will move beyond another level of fear and into the inner sanctum of your heart and soul. Become aware of patterns, ancient symbols, and signs being sent to you from the universe. There's a sense that you are now able to focus in a new way and offer greater light to the world. Melchizedek and his order are with you now, leading you towards spiritual wisdom, so meditate and connect with their light. You know, we've been doing really good this whole show, even with me drinking the water. I feel like this message was a strong one. And I think that's why we ended with this one. Because I feel like all the bad vibes out there, whatever you want to put a name to them are, I feel like they're just trying to hold people back because they don't want that. They don't want this light in this world, right? They don't want people to shine that light. They want people to just kind of stay in their little cocoons and not become their authentic self. They don't want people to find that light. They don't want people to find, you know, the higher spirit guides, the keepers of the light, like Melchizedek, who say, hey, you know what? I'm here. I'm going to help you ascend. So if you do believe in ascension, okay, and I'm telling you, it is a real thing, but if you do, and you have wrapped your head around it already, and you're struggling through it, call on Melchizedek, all right? It's Melchizedek. So, you know, almost like it sounds. But yeah, so I really think that message was struggling to come out. So there you have it. You know, I only pulled 3 decks today on top of the other one because I thought, hey, it's going to be a short show, but it ended up being a long show. So again, I know that's just Oracle Fridays. But anyways, I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Have a great weekend. I'll be back here on Monday for either Mindful Monday or, I don't know, whatever Monday. Whatever comes up on Monday, Magic Monday. I'll think of something. Like, yeah. So anyways, again, I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Please take care of yourselves. I know I say that all the time. It's kind of what I close with because I know a lot of times people just walk away and then it's like, yeah, the message just disappears. That happens to me all the time. I get up and it's like everything falls out of my head. But that's why I put the cupcake thing out there because I have to remember that in order for anybody to love me, I have to love myself. No matter what we think we look like. We're all beautiful humans. We're all beautiful beings of light. And we all offer something wonderful to this world. So, you know, don't spend so much time being mean to yourself. Don't spend so much time putting yourself down. Spend time lifting yourself. Spend time raising yourself up. And believing in you. Self-love is the greatest love you will ever have. And self-love will allow you to feel loved. It will allow you to love others. Self-love, I think, is a really good tool to have so you don't sabotage relationships. Thinking, oh my God, the other shoe's going to drop. Because you're not worried about that. Because you know in the back of your head, hey, I've done this. I've been solo before. And that doesn't mean that's going to happen. But somewhere in your subconscious, you're like, I'm going to be okay. So I'm just going to enjoy every single moment I can get with this person. Whether, you know, it's a friendship. Well, I think I'm kind of talking about relationships because that's where my head is right now. And like I said, I know sometimes I joke and complain about being single, but honestly, I think it's because my vibe has kept me that way. Because I don't have confidence or faith in myself. And I know I need to. So I am sharing that with you because I want you to see who you are. And I promise you, I am going to work on this now. I'm going to start listening to the advice that I never take. I give it, but I don't take it. So I'm going to start practicing what I preach. All right. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So anyways, again, have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And no matter when you're watching this, okay, no matter when you're watching this, just know that the messages, they're not just meant for today. They're not just meant for Oracle Friday. They are the message you are meant to see at the time that you see it. All right. So again, have a great weekend. Have a safe weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see everybody back here Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public. Anybody can watch. And then I also share it to my Facebook page and my YouTube page under the Aloha Perspective. If you see me on Twitter, or if you follow me on Twitter, you will find these here. Oracle Fridays, I usually don't upload to Twitter. So you can find it again on the Aloha Perspective YouTube page. So again, have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on Monday.